Hello and welcome back to Age of Empires Definitive Edition and the Ascent of Egypt. Let's go into the next mission called Farming.
The future of Egypt is about to change. The great pharaoh Narmer seeks to unite the upper and lower kingdoms into a unified Egypt. Using the wealth brought from farming along the Nile's banks, he will finally be able to defeat his rivals. Take control of the villages along the river and build a surplus of 800 food to feed your people and Narmer's warriors. In addition, take control of the ancient stone circle of Nabta Playa, found in the desert to the west. Controlling this ancient ruin will demonstrate Narmer's power to his opponents. Be wary of nearby peoples, however. You need not destroy them, but know that they will attempt to undermine Narmer's goal of uniting Egypt.
Okay, let's go into the history tab. Every year, heavy monsoon rains in the mountain of Ethiopia would cause the Nile to flood its banks downstream in Egypt. This period of flooding from June to September was called Akhet. While waiting for the waters to recede and reveal the fertile mud and fresh silt left behind, Egyptian farmers spent their time mending and making tools and looking after their animals. As Egypt became a kingdom, the farmers would use some of this time to work for the king, called the pharaoh, to build tombs and temples. When the waters receded, the Egyptians would plow the soil during a season called Peret from October to February. Egyptians plowed by hand or used animal-pulled plows. Seeds were sown and goats and other animals walked over the fields to push the seeds into the ground and provide additional fertilizer. The Egyptians grew a variety of crops including wheat, barley, flax, onion, leeks, garlic, beans, lettuce, lentils, cabbages, radishes, turnips, grapes, figs, plums, and melons. Harvest time was a period called Shimu from March to May. Grain was cut with sickles, tied into bundles, and carried away to granaries. Skilled artisans in the town turned the wheat into bread, the barley into beer, and the flax into linen cloth. Papyrus reeds were gathered to make sandals, boats, baskets, mats, and paper. Agriculture allowed professions to develop and fostered new cultural tools and artifacts. Although the first signs of agriculture date from 8000 BCE, the first farming communities did not appear in Egypt until the period from circa 6000 to 3150 BCE. These early settlements introduced new technologies such as irrigation in the forms of canals and basins, and this allowed the Egyptians to regulate the floods to maximize food production. The Egyptian agricultural system allowed the region to support between 2 to 12 million people. Even as late as the Roman era, Egypt was still considered the granary of the ancient world. The population boom brought about by agriculture caused villages to coalesce into small kingdoms along the Nile. These kingdoms invaded and annexed others until only two kingdoms remained, those of Upper and Lower Egypt, in the south and the north, respectively. This terminology derives from the flow of the Nile River from the highlands of eastern Africa in the south to the Nile Delta in the north. The king of Upper Egypt wore a tall white crown called Hedjet, while the king of Lower Egypt wore a red crown called Deshret. Around 3100 BCE, a king named Narmer, also identified as Menes, unified the two kingdoms. A siltstone tablet called the Palette of Narmer depicts the king wearing the crown of Upper Egypt on one side and the crown of Lower Egypt on the other. A later pharaoh named Jet would be depicted wearing both crowns together at once, the double crown known as Peshent, which symbolized the unity of Egypt. Okay, let's get into this. So, unfortunately, this scenario is plagued by a bug. I've tried to do this mission 2 times before, unsuccessfully. Because you just lose randomly after a while. So we're gonna speedrun the 800 food, and I'm gonna completely ignore Lower Egypt. I was originally planning on destroying them completely. But we cannot do that as it is right now. I'm just gonna ignore them, and I'm gonna go capture the ruins. And I know the ruins are roughly around this side somewhere. And I know they don't attack us for a while, because I've done this before, right? So, yeah, there's that. That's a very unfortunate bug. But it is what it is. We're gonna get the market down. And then we keep getting villagers. I don't know how many farms we want to get up, really. I don't think I want to build additional houses, so I think we're gonna stick to these that we have. We have not that much food left there, but I don't think we need any more woodcutters for now. We just want to build some farms. Very unfortunate bug. I've lost twice, and you just lose randomly. First time I lost right after I captured the ruins. I was like, okay. So I need to have the 800 food before I get the ruins. So I was just chilling and ignoring the ruins, and then I randomly lost after a while later again. And I was like, okay. I mean... what can I do? Well, there's not that much food left in that either. So now I just really want enough wood to maintain the amount of farms that we have and just chill. I think 6 woodcutters is more than enough. I think 5 is gonna be more than enough. We're gonna see here. So we're almost filled up with the villagers, right? They have to walk for such a long distance, unfortunately. But it's such a long time until they mine out these, right? So definitely gonna be fine. So this is the amount of farms that we're gonna get. Hopefully we're gonna like breeze through this scenario. The clubmen need to be ready to go as well. Watch as the game throws me like curveball now, and they're like, oh, I didn't attack you the other 2 times, but I'm totally gonna do that this time. Just because I can. Now we play the waiting game, apparently. I wanted to fully vanquish them, but yeah, that's not gonna happen, dude. There is absolutely no way that that's gonna happen. You have 100 food left. I have no idea what the population max is in this game. Maybe I should Google that at some point. Okay, we're gonna go find the ruins now. We're about 200 food left. And I know the ruins are like out in the middle of nowhere, somewhere up here. Very, very unfortunate that this has been the case. I had to Google a bit to find out that that was actually a bug. Don't know exactly where... Oh, there it is. Okay. Cool. Boom, we've won.
The gods have blessed our great pharaoh Narmer and united our people. Egypt is destined to become the greatest civilization ever seen. The pharaoh has promised you a spot on the carved stone tablet commissioned to honor his victory. For obvious reasons, your image will not be as big as his.
Yeah, okay. So we had 13 villagers and they had 11. But yeah, okay. That's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.